Just looking through here at the chaffinch, and they are out. This one had a clutch of 5. Now, when I got a chance to have a little look at the youngsters, which are growing rapidly the last time I seen them, I could see 2 prominent. It could well have been 3. There's no unhatched eggs, as you can see there. All the chick detritus at the bottom. It's flattened the nest, so I'm not too sure how many actually got out of here, but they're out. Chaffinch out successfully. Great stuff. This is willow warbler number 3, and you can see in here these chicks are ready to go. Look at them little beauties in there. Can't see how many there is. I've got a willow wobbler incoming. Hear that alarm call? These are little stunners. Look at them little beauties. Yeah, willow warbler number 3. Chicks will be getting out of here very soon. Very soon. Great stuff. Get out. It's tough to keep the camera still. It's so low down, this one, but doing well. Great. Just looking down there. Back into this area today now, and Chiffchaff number 14 out. Good while ago, I would have said. Let's see where we are with this area today. But happy days. Chiffchaff 14 successful. It's still a little beauty nest in there. A lot more bramble across the top. Right, we'll get out of here and check some others. Well, black cap, easily seen from the path. Out of sight now. Look at the bracken there, man. That is just wow. That's there. It's in there. In there. I haven't been across bracken in front. Crossing there, I'm sure. But I cannot see the black cap. There's one in the background. You hear the black cap singing away. Now, hopefully, I haven't left this too late, because I've changed course today. And normally I've got it worked out where I want to go in certain areas, but the weather's changed my direction this morning, so I'm going to get across to this and we can see where we are with this. This little chiffchaff here, it's a little chiffchaff number 19, spotted from the path, and the chiffies are out, and this is successful, this, because these fledglings must have been out. I've heard the chiffy around chasing the bramble there before, and this is a beauty. That's that one tucked down there. They're out. Too late to getting back in here. The mystery is, of course, that black cap on the path. I've been in there and no nest. It's not that I'm missing it or anything like that. It's completely gone. What's happened there, I don't know, but this one is a definite fledgling out. Seeing the little youngsters in and around, and the chiffies present. Great stuff, this. What a little beauty it was. Chiffchaff number 19 out successfully. Just a little bit further up the path, I've just got my eye on this little fella. Here he is. Little chiffy out the nest. The little beauty is. Right. Hey parents. Definitely out of number 19. Yeah, incoming parents now. Not too far away. It's not making any call. Just been sat back off this blackcap here, blackcap number 14. Now that day when I was here just sitting on the tree stump, blackcap was in here and I located this nest, but as you can see there, there's nothing in there. Now I'm a little while of getting back in here, as I've just realised. Only bird song I heard really was the wren, and funnily enough, just look over here, it's got it in there. Nothing in as yet. There's a little wren in there. Beauty. I think I hear a chiffy now actually. I'll sit back off. This is definitely a wren, by the way. I'll sit back off, see if I can get any activity, but that one, I expected to see some young in there maybe. That built up. Blackcap that day was phenomenal singing in here. So whether it has had a clutch in and been taken early, remember the long-tailed tit, it's just off here in that little section there, and that was predated, hit from underneath. This one about the same height. Aye, chiffy here. Right, we'll get out. Just sitting off the blackcap. Thought I would take a seat, see if I could hear anything come in. The chiffy was here, the wren's here. The blackcap's come in again. Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if there is another nest here. Let's sit here 10 more minutes and then I'll get out. See if I can get any drops here. Right, get out. Just dropped into another area and there's a beauty blackcap. C5. Suspended, a little bit of an angle. I mean, the suspension. Oh, look at it properly. Look at that. Stunning eggs in this one as well. Right, black cap number 15. Disappointed with that other one there before. I thought that might have eggs, but this one, another little area I've got. Beauty. Get up. This is the very last look, I think, at the great tits in here, and hopefully we'll get a shot here. What I'm after, see how many beaks is in here. I'm convinced there's at least 8, but we'll see from this. Great tits have been great today, watching them from the top window. Both coming in, both parents, both feeding. Just seeing them go out again. Back in, she's right behind us. Right, we've got to get out now. Hopefully this gets this shot. We might be able to count from here, but they're looking very healthy from my side of things here. Right, we'll get out now. This is the very last look on black cap number 6, and you can see how well they've developed, but you can see again the nest off on a tilt. Now this had a clutch of 4, and I can certainly see 3 prominent chicks there. There could be one hunkered down. I think there is. Yeah, see 2 beaks at the front here and 2 beaks on top. So just a few more days left for these guys. Look at them little beauties in there. But now that nest's way off on a little tilt. We're going to get out of here. These will be away in the next couple of days. Marvellous. Black cap number 6, nearly out. There are beauties in there. Right, we'll get out of here now. Filmed this linnet last week with the tail sticking out, backed off. Just checking it this week, and get some freshly hatched chicks in there. May be able to get a look at how many. I don't know if that's blurring the sun again, it is on the screen, but that's great news on that one. Yeah, good stuff. Popping the heads up. Right, we'll get out here. Just over the top of garden warbler number 2, and this is the one with clutch of 4, and you can hear the garden warblers coming in. I didn't know that last time. It's driven me absolutely mad, this mist. But these are doing brilliantly. Fantastic. We've got in coming off the parents, so we're going to get out of here, but I'll not get to see these next week because they'll be gone. But it's great news. Garden warbler front here. Excellent. I've got another garden warbler check, and it should be at a similar stage to this actually. So we'll get in on that one. Right, we'll get out of here. Fantastic news, this one. Ready to go. Just checked in on the garden warbler there, and it's doing fantastic. 2-3 days left for them chicks to get out of there. It was a C4 number 2, garden warbler number 2. But I've switched the camera on here because I'm a little bit further forward where this bramble is, and the white throats and chiffchaffs are still moving in these areas. So still marshalling all the young in here. And this is a week later. Yeah, they're just over the top, right on top of that garden warbler nest there, that white throat. They've got all, yeah, there's one in shot just there. He's moving up. zoom the camera anymore. You've got them above that rush. Sorry, behind that and behind and down. All over here. Great to see you again. Not as vocal this week, crack as last week. Over here. Let me get out. This one here is Yellowhammer number 6, and this was the one I peered it down on, and the female was down shaping this cup. There's a lot more material here this week. I was expecting more of a finished nest really. So again, taking its time on this one. Definitely more material there, it's shaped more, as you can see there from last week. Just the smallest construction last week, but there you are. Taking its time, it's a week on now, but I have heard of Yellowhammer in and around here, which is great. Right, we'll cover this back in and get out. Taking its time. Well, here, the garden warbler chicks of number 3 are out. Hear them in the background. Great stuff. I thought I might have just got a last shot. They're out. They've got to be in and around. Yeah. Great stuff. Right, we'll get out here. Might sit back here just a little bit. Garden warbler there. C5. Out of there. Right, we'll get out now. That linnet off last week was further in the gorse than the one that's about a few metres away, and that one hasn't lasted. I think this had a C3 last week. And the other one, maybe it's 2 eggs in the other one. So predation here. Right, we'll check this other one, which is right on the outside, easy to see, we'll see. Right, we'll get out here. Yep, that one's been hit as well. You can see all the inner linings of the nest there, that wool, feathers, etc. Probably a decent clutch went in here and then hit. This one is just so, right at the edge. There's just that little section close in there where the other one is. Right, get out. Just over the top of Yellowhammer number 2, and it's devastating news. It's had a C4. Last week I was in here, I was still nursing that C4. This is the one which I've looked in for weeks now. It took easy 2.5 weeks for it to get a clutch in, and that put a beautiful C4 in, and last week I checked, it was doing great, but you can see some inner lining pulled here. It is quite exposed. I've lost a few linnets off last week as well, running a top line. There's a section of hedgerow just that overlooks this gorse at the top here, and you often wonder about that. But I am gutted. I've watched that for weeks. Linnets have been hammered sometimes through the week as well, because 3 of them now predations from last week. Again, pathline ones, exposed ones. Check another Yellowhammer. Gutted. Just looking down here at Yellowhammer number 5. This had the clutch of 3, the reddy brown eggs. So picking that up. It looks like all matched here. A little bit lower than what I could remember last time. I was in here last week. Being devastated with Yellowhammer number 2, which had the clutch 4, which really should be at this stage, but that's been predated. But this is going strong. Yellowhammer number 5, C3, the red eggs. We'll get out here now. Great stuff. This covered in. It's very low actually. This one, fingers crossed. We might see some big healthy chicks next week. Right, get out. Just been watching a linnet. A couple of fly downs in this direction, and you can see it here. Chicks hatching out. Looks like a C4, one hatch chick. Aye, we'll get out of here now. Nice one, new one. A few predations today from last week. Lost 3. 3 from last week, all gone. No, actually, there was one with the tail still intact. So it must have been 4 last week. Aye, 3 of them gone. Right, we'll get out here. It's this beautiful willow warbler from last week. Low in the goals here. You can see how the chicks are freshly hatching out here. The bird has just flown. So we'll get out. I found this last week with a C5. Put her in there. Yeah. Oh, it's a beauty. Doing well. Great chicks hatching out this week. We'll get out of here. Oh, it's magnificent. Right out. New linnet C2, just on the ends of the branches here. It's running the risk of this top line, you know, the low ones, 2 and 1 in the V. I lost that. That was last week, and the other one, which had a C2. This isn't too far away, so this could well be a replacement nest from one of them pairs, which I imagine it to be. Like I say, it's quite low, ends of branches. Maybe it's a touch higher than the other 2. I don't know how much of that's blurring. Trying to get it the sun. Right, we'll get out. Yeah. This is the little magnificent chiffy off last week. Chiff chaff number 21. As you can see there, all the fledglings are out, but they were big last week. Nest still pretty good. Aye, there's the one I had lost the 2 linnets across the back line there. Predation low down. This is just as low as either of those 2. This is facing the feather. Can I see? Aye, still there. Little emoji there, emoji face in the feather. Right, everything out. Everything out of there. Everything's out. There you can see some chick debris in there, and that's good stuff. It's a feather there, not a youngster. Right, we'll get out of here. Great stuff, out. Well, the plot thickens here because this one, I'm just running that line of ghosts again from last week. And it was 2 weeks ago, the week before last one, I had found a little one in the V with the youngsters. And this one had a lovely C2 ends of ghosts. Came back in, with, which was last week, and I'd lost both of these. But in between, I had that lovely chiff chaff number 21, which I've just checked and fledged. But from here, right, we'll get that out here. Switch it into there. There's a linnet I've missed. Looks like a C5. What was going mad there before? I'm thinking I'm in the wrong section again. Look at that beautiful feather in there as well. Another purple feather. And I think there's 5 beaks here. Hi. So So what's that, 1.5 meters from each other? But now I mustn't, well obviously I haven't looked in this little section last week. I've just seen that predated one. Probably in the raptures of that jiffy that I found because it was a beauty, and that was it, I called it a day. But just here, it's a one escaped, or it's a one that's escaped the predator in this area. Certainly the chiff taff did. Right, we'll get out.